So I just finished editing a video and I realized I never put an intro or outro on it. So here we are, a day later, different clothes, different shirt or whatever. But the point of this is I've just finished playing a game called The Legend of Drizzt. It's a Dungeons and Dragons game. I'll make sure it's in frame here. It's kind of an older game, but I just learned how to play it the other day with my friend Matt. It's a lot of fun. So I thought I'd just play through at least the first adventure, Adventure 1. It's called Exile, and I'd share it with all of you. So enjoy. All right, so I've never done anything like this before. I am going to attempt to play Legend of Drizzt, and it's a Dungeons and Dragons game. It came out some years ago, but I picked it up. I finally learned how to play it. I played it with a buddy of mine, Matt. It was a lot of fun, and you can play it 1 to 5 players, so I thought I can just plow through this game, or not, we'll see, and do it single-playered. So we're going to give this thing a go. I am starting on Adventure 1, and the objective is to escape the Underdark. It's one hero, Drizzt, who is right here. You know what? I'll do a little splice and dice and put pictures of things in there. I have some time. Adventure setup. Special components in this adventure are the start tile, which we have here, an underground river, and I've already put that into my cavern tiles deck here, as well as the surface hollow tile, and that is over here. I'm just going to leave it off to the side along with some monsters that I know I need to, I will most likely be using. If others, then we'll go grab those. So place the start tile on the table and place your hero on any square. So right there's just fine. Take the underground river and put it from the cavern tile stack, set it aside, shuffle the rest of them, and without looking at any of the tiles, put the underground river as after the 8th tile, which I've done all of that. If this is your first time playing, use Drizzt. It's not, but I'm going to use them either way. And we get 1 healing surge. And you know what? It also says we get an item card from the treasure deck. I have not shuffled these since the last time I've played. So let's get all of these cards and we're going to give them all a good shuffle. I'm sure some of you card-carrying folk are going to freak out because I shuffled them like playing cards, but it's just what I do. And we'll cut like that. And you know what? We're going to find a better spot to put all these. Maybe we can put them right over here. Treasures. And here's our monsters. Give those a good little shuffle. Middle to the top. These are the ones that matter second. And treasure, well, we'll put them right here. And then the most hated and evil of all. Oh, I still have Caddy Bree sitting over here. She doesn't need to be there. The encounters. Let's get those shuffled up. Hopefully we can be lucky and I won't look like an idiot on my first time playing through this thing and losing in level 1. The encounters is what usually gets me. If you've never played this game before, it is actually difficult, but it gives you a lot of D&D vibes. There's just, it gives me some good stuff, good vibes, good feelings, especially since I have that D&D itch every once in a while. Okay, so I have my, I need to get my random treasure card. So here we go. Play immediately. Your hero is now 2nd level. If your hero is already 2nd level, another hero of your choice becomes 2nd level. Hot damn. So if I lose now, then I've got some problems. So my hero is now going to be 2nd level. Expert combatant. You can make an additional attack during your hero phase. When you attack with a natural 20, you get +1 to the damage. So you increase by 2 hit points, your AC by 1, and your surge value by 1, which is great. That's all logged here. And then also you can select an additional ranger daily power. So I'm going to go have to find the ranger daily powers because I have them all for level 1. So let's go through level 1 really quick just so you can see what I picked. Icing Death and Twinkle right out of the gate. Where can we put this? That's a good spot right there. These are the powers that I'm going to use most often. Icing Death and Twinkle. And then also we have our daily power, which is a use once then destroy thing. Move your monster up to his or her speed and then attack one adjacent monster. So basically it's a free move and attack as this power. At least that's the way I see it. Every round, if you've never played this game before, you get a movement and you get an attack, or you can have 2 movements. Move and attack can be in either order, but you can't split your movement and then attack and then move. So that's why this is kind of nice, because then it allows me to move my movement and do an attack, have a second attack because Drizzt gets 2, and then still do more movement. And then I have these utility powers, which Dancing Serpent, use this at the start of your hero phase to place your stance token on this card. While your stance token is on this card, whenever you attack, whenever you use an attack power, you can move your hero up to 2 squares before or after the attack. So this is gives me an extra 2 movement during my actual attack, assuming I do the attack. So I can't do 2 movements and then get 2 more squares. And then Cloud of Darkness is another use once and destroy. So you know what? We're going to move this over here. When a monster within 1 tile, so just so we're all aware, a tile is 1 square, 1 4x4 square here. This is a double tile because it's the start one, but you can see that faint white line in the middle. This would be a tile, and then this would be a tile. When a monster within 1 tile of your hero activates, that monster does not activate during the villain phase. If more than 1 monster with the same name is in play, the power affects only the chosen monster. So basically, I can pause them when they first activate. Flip it over, and it's gone. My 2 other actual normal attacks that I have Twinkle. Basically, I can attack 1 monster and then put my stance token on this card. I can remove my stance from this card when a monster hits me, an adjacent monster hits me, so that one that's right next to me. When it hits me, I reduce my damage by 1. So if it only can hit me with 1 hit point or 1 damage, I don't take that damage, but I do remove the stance from it, and I have to start that process over. But it also means I can't do my Dancing Serpent ability or other abilities in the future. And now that we're level 2, we may have one of those. Attack 1 adjacent monster with Icing Death. I can attack 1 monster, again, right next to me, melee. And if you roll 18 or higher, you get a +1 to your damage, which is great. Because now, if I roll a crit, I get another +1. So in theory, Icing Death can give me 3 points of damage on a crit. All right, so here is my next daily power, my additional one. It's called Twin Strike, and it's attack 1 adjacent monster, and then attack 1 adjacent monster. So basically, if I'm surrounded, if someone's got me flanked, I can attack both people. I can do 2 damage, but if I miss, I do 1. And I'm assuming, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'd love to know the real rules if anyone knows these rules, but attack 1 adjacent monster, then attack 1 adjacent monster. So I get 2 attacks on this. So both of them are +6, and it says the damage is 2. So I'm going to assume that both attacks provide 2 damage. But it also says if I miss, I get 1 damage. So no matter what, I can attack 2 different people for 1 damage. So if I'm surrounded by 2 creatures with 1 hit point each, I can kill them both in 1 single attack and still have another attack over here. But that's how I'm going to play it. If that's wrong, please correct me. It's a use once and destroy as well. To be fair to Wizards, this is a Wizards game. To be fair to Wizards, it was flip this card over after use. Okay, so going back over here to our starting, we got our Surge, we got our random item. Our special adventure rules, when we reveal the underground river, then we're going to do some fun stuff. I'm not going to jump into it yet because let's leave it for a surprise for anyone that doesn't know. When we start the adventure, read this. Life is normally difficult in the Underdark. But the spider goddess Loth's demand for your sacrifice has made it impossible. You are left with one choice. You must fight your way through the Underdark and find your way to the surface. So basically, kids, we're playing the books. All right. So I have the sequence of play cards here. We're going to go through a hero phase, of an exploration phase, and a villain phase for the hero phase. And I'm just going to do it this first time, and then we'll just go through as if you all know what's going on. If you have 0 hit points, you use a healing surge. That's over here, and that's ultimately where we get to basically do our saving throws and get some hit points back. Our surge value is 5, so we'll get 5 hit points back. Oh, I forgot. Our hit points are now 10, so I'm going to grab 2 more little hit point tokens and add them to my pile. Okay. Perform one of the following actions. I can move and then make an attack. I can attack and then move, or I can make 2 moves. That's all the hero phase is. So I can't really do much. There's nothing to attack or do anything along those lines. So I'm just going to move, and I'll just go right over here, right to the edge. The next one is the exploration phase. If your hero occupies an adjacent square to an unexplored edge, which is where we're at, go to step 2. Otherwise, go to the villain phase. Well, villain phase is the whole third part of this, so we're going to go to step 2. Draw a dungeon tile and then place it with its triangle adjacent to the unexplored edge. So basically, I'm going to have the triangle point to me. And then draw a monster card and place that monster on a new tile. So here we go. We are drawing our first cavern card, and it is a Dark Chasm. And it's a white triangle. So a white triangle means that we don't have an encounter. Every time we draw a cavern card, we do have a monster. But if you have a black triangle, then we also get an encounter. And encounters are things that make our lives difficult. So the next thing we need to do is we draw a monster. We get a spider swarm. How fun for us. I have all my little tokens, or my minis over here. What you do is you place these things on these little mushroom piles. So there's mushrooms on every tile. When you draw a monster, that's where they go. So there he goes. Normally, we would draw an encounter card at this point, but actually, let's go through the villain phase. If you didn't place a tile during your exploration, we did. Or if you placed a tile with a black triangle, draw an encounter card. We don't need to do that. If a villain is in play, activate it. We're not going to have a villain this time, so we're going to skip that. But normally, sometimes you can, on other adventures, I've only gotten through adventure 2 before I decided to do this with everyone else. But if there's a villain, then you activate it, and that villain will run around as another player character, kind of like you. It's the big bad evil guy. And then number 3, activate each monster and trap you control during your turn in the order you drew them. And that's why I put this here, and we're going to see as I gain more monsters how that works. We're also going to be moving this thing around quite a bit as it grows, because we don't know what we don't know. All right, so each monster has its own special tactics that it just tells you what to do, so you don't have to come up with it on your own. If the spider swarm is on a tile with a poisoned hero, which it's not, each poisoned hero on that tile would take 1 damage. If the spider swarm is within 1 tile of the hero, which it is, it moves to the closest hero's tile, and then attacks the hero with 1,000,000 venomous fangs. That's a lot of fangs. Otherwise, the spider swarm will move 1 tile towards the closest hero. So it's going to move from this tile to this tile, and I just have a move from the mushroom pile to mushroom pile. Yeah, our spider swarm has moved to us, and now it's going to attack us. It has a +7. It gives us 2 experience. It doesn't initially hurt us with its attack. It'll poison us, which that does hurt us. So going back to our Twinkle, that's where Twinkle doesn't get to shine like it should. Either way, it's going to attack. +7, so it attacks with a 14. My armor is 17, so it doesn't hit. And that's the end of that turn. Now it's my turn. I get to fight back and move. So we're gonna fight this spider swarm. It has an AC of 12 and only 1 hit point. So I'm going to actually use Twinkle. 13, which definitely hits. I don't even need to use the +6. I'm going to add my stance token here, and that's basically letting me know, hey, I have that activated. This guy goes away. I'm going to put him back in the pool. I get to draw a treasure. Oh, I also get to collect this. So every time that you kill something, even if with other people, you have a pool of experience points. This gives me 2 experience, so I'm going to put it off into the pool. And after 5 experience, if I roll nat 20, I can level up. I've already done that because of that fantastic first card that I got. Or I can use 5 experience to stop an encounter that happens. So let me draw my treasure, because that's the thing I typically always forget personally. Use this instead of attacking. I can choose 1 tile away from my hero, from Drizzt, and attack each monster on that tile. So if there's multiple monsters, I can throw this for a +4 attack, and it does 1 damage, and it's just a flask of oil. That's kind of nice. We'll just set it off to the side as something to remember that we have it. Now we need to move. I get 7 feet of movement. You know what? Just for fun, 2, 3, 4. We're just going to move to the top. And now I draw a cavern tile. It's a black triangle. So we're going to draw a monster, which is a goblin cutter, which I believe is this little guy with the knife. Put it on the mushroom, and we draw. Let's just double check, make sure I'm doing it right. We draw a monster card. All right, and now we draw an encounter. Mark of Loath. Your hero is cursed. Place this on your hero card as a reminder. Each hero with at least 1 curse, including yours, takes 1 damage when this card is played. So basically, at the end of my hero phase, a hero can take 1 damage. All right, so I'm going to take 1 damage now, and if I want to remove it, I take 1 more damage. Otherwise, I can leave it on there and it doesn't do anything until the next, if another curse hits me, then I'll take 2 damage, and compounding interest here. Okay, so now our little goblin is going to, let's see what it does. If the goblin cutter is within 1 tile of the hero, it moves adjacent to the hero and attacks with its crude dagger. Otherwise, it moves 1 tile towards the hero with the fewest hit points remaining. So it's going to run to me. And I'm just going to put, you know what, I'm going to put him right here on my tile, because technically it said that he'd moved to my tile. And then the goblin's going to attack me. It has +7. It does 1 damage. And by the way, it has 12 armor and 1 hit point. I rolled a 9 + 7, 16. Doesn't hit my armor. So hooray. Now that is all it can do. My turn. I'm going to use Icing Death. You got an 8 + 6. It's 14. And it beats its 12, so we'll get rid of that guy. These guys aren't too tough, to be honest. So now I have 3 experience points. I get a treasure. Your hero gains 2 points, 2 bonus to speed while this item is in play, and it remains in place. And now I can like run really fast. So apparently my speed is 7, so I get 9. I'm going to put that right there. Really comes down to, where do I want to go? I'm going to run down here because I've got all this speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, can't do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This way I don't have to stretch as much. And at the end of my hero phase, which is where I'm at, I can take 1 more damage. Oh, I forgot to take my damage, so let's flip that over. You know what? I'm just going to bite the bullet now. I've taken 2 damage, and this encounter is gone. Volcanic event. There we go. All right, we get a monster. What did we find? A Goblin Champion. AC of 16, 2 hit points. If the tactics are, if the Goblin Champion is adjacent to the hero, it attacks that hero with a vicious axe, then moves to the closest tile with no hero, so it runs away. If the Goblin Champion is within 2 tiles of the hero, it moves adjacent to the closest hero, then attacks that hero with a vicious axe. So basically, it's going to attack me with an axe. Otherwise, the Goblin Champion moves 1 tile towards the closest hero. It gives me 3 experience. It has a +8 to attack, and it does 2 damage with a minimum of 1 damage if it misses. So let's find our little Goblin Champion here. It's this little axe guy. So it is it's going to move right over here to this mushroom and attack me. +8. 5 + 8 is 13. It misses, so I do take 1 damage. I'm going to use my stance. So I'll remove my stance, not take any damage, and I'm fighting back. All right, he's got 2. Right out of the gate, we're going to use Icing Death. 4 + 6 is 10. That's not enough. So now we're gonna, just in case, we're going to use our Twinkle. 5. It's kind of cocked, but I'm going to call it a 5 + 6. It's an 11. That's not enough either. So no good for me. I'm going to just kind of run. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm not running away. I'm not a coward. But I do want to, I have to explore other things, because if I don't explore them, then I don't get all the fun things, and I get an extra encounter. So we have another one, so we get the encounter either way. Yeah. Connect that. We get another monster. It's a Drow Duelist. If the Drow Duelist is within 1 tile of the hero, it moves adjacent to the closest hero and attacks twice with a pair of slashing blades. Each attack can be against any hero adjacent to the Duelist. Otherwise, the Drow Duelist moves 1 tile towards the closest hero. So let's get our, and that moves after our Goblin Champion. So we'll get our Duelist right over here. It's pretty fantastic looking guy here. And then we have an encounter. Each hero takes damage equal to the number of monsters adjacent to him or her. Discard after playing. I read this as they are not surrounding me or flanking me, so I'm going to say that I have no one adjacent to me. Now, if it was just the number of monsters, then yeah, I'd take 2 damage, but I'm not taking any damage. All right, so our Goblin Champion, it is within 2 tiles, so it's going to move adjacent. So I'm going to just plop him right here, turn him towards me. He's going to chop, and I didn't even, oh, I did attack. So when I fought with I fought with Twinkle, attack 1 adjacent monster, then place a stance token on your card. It doesn't say you have to hit, it just says attack, so I'm putting that on there. And there's my stance. Rolling. You got an 8 plus the 8, 16. Luckily, it doesn't hit. And I'm going to remove my stance because he does, when he misses, he does do 1 damage. Now our Drow Duelist. This is where he could do some damage. He's got 2 attacks and 1 damage each. It's within 1 tile. It moves to adjacent, the closest hero, attacking twice. So I'm going to move him actually right here, and he's going to attack twice, and he gets a +9. So, luckily I rolled a 2, so the 11 does not hit. I'm lucking out here. And the 19. Okay. So I do take 1 damage. Let's flip that thing over. I can flip this over. I get +6 to the attack, 1 adjacent monster, and then attack 1 adjacent monster. It does 2 damage if I hit, otherwise it does 1 damage if I miss. So I am going to, no matter what, it doesn't matter what I roll, but I need to call who I'm attacking first, just in case I do hit or not hit. Yeah, we're going to attack a twin strike against the Drow duelist right out of the gate. We're gonna attack with that. Doing an 18. Nice. And that attacks and it hits for 2 damage, so he's gone. Hooray. Now I get to keep my Drow Duelist and my 2 experience over here. So I do have 5 experience, so I can get rid of an encounter if I'd like. But now my other attack is going to go towards, hopefully we hit with this, is going to go towards the little Goblin Champion. 17, good. That does hit. It does kill him. I get 3 more experience, so look at that. I'm rolling in experience. And now with that, I get a treasure. So when you kill a monster, you get a treasure, but you can only get 1 treasure a round. I can kill 15 monsters this round somehow and still only get 1 treasure. Item is the Spider Mask. This enchanted mask allows the wearer to pass through any web. Use this when your hero is immobilized at the end immobilization condition on your hero. Hey, that's kind of nice. So I'll put that down there. I didn't do a second attack or anything. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it alone. So I don't have my my twinkle defense on me or anything. And now we are going to look up this direction. Making sure I did everything. Yeah, everything sounds reasonable. Thank goodness it is a white arrow. So we just have a monster and no encounters. So what monster did we get today? A feral troll. I've never fought one of these. If a feral troll is within 1 tile of the hero, it moves adjacent to the closest hero and attacks that hero with a nasty claw. After the attack, pass this card to the player to your right. So basically, it always attacks. For 2-player games, this is really nasty because typically at the end of my turn, any of the monsters that are mine won't attack until it's my turn again. But if I'm passing this over to the next person, it can attack again. So for 2 players, since right and left doesn't really mean anything, the monster attacks every turn. Otherwise, the feral troll regains all lost hit points and moves 1 tile towards the hero with the fewest hit points remaining. So I have to kill this thing. It does 3 damage. I can't run away from it. All right, so we have our troll here. So this thing has 12 armor. It has 4 hit points. Attack +8. It does 3 damage and moves the hero 2 tiles. So it's going to smack me, move me 2 tiles, and then if the feral troll is within 1 tile of the hero, it moves and fights. Otherwise, the feral troll regains all of its hit points and moves 1 tile. Oh, that's mean. So either I have to fight and kill it, or I have to or I have to just run from it for the rest of this game. All right, well, the feral troll is going to fight first. It is within 1 tile of me. It moves adjacent to the closest hero and attacks. All right, so +8. Oh, this is going to hurt. 14. I got a 6, so 6 + 8 is 14. Luckily, it missed. Well, a nat 20 would be really nice with my icing death here. Let's see. Oh, I need to flip this one over. All right, we're going to attack with icing death. Yeah. I wish I could zoom on this thing. That is a nat 20 down here, kids. So that does icing death right out of the gate. If you roll an 18 or higher, it does +1 damage. So that's 2 damage here. And then when attacking, you roll a nat 20, you deal +1 damage. So that's 3 damage right out of the gate. So let's put, I don't even have enough little damage token thingies to put on this guy, but I'm going to put 1, 2. You know, I'm going to put it on there. All right, so we're actually going to get rid of one of these because I've got a 2 and a 1. So I know he's taken 3 damage now. That's pretty cool. Okay, now I still have a second attack here. Come on, Mr. Drizzt. Yeah, I'm just going to well, I'm gonna twinkle it. It's a 7 plus a 6, 13. It has an AC of 12. Hooray. So I'm gonna put my stance on here. I'm gonna kill this troll, give myself 4 experience. That wasn't as horrible. I mean, I got lucky with that nat 20. And now let's keep exploring. Let's go take a look down here. We have a secret cave. Heroes on this tile do not draw encounter cards. Hooray. All right. But it doesn't say anything about not drawing a monster, so we're still going to draw our monster. And we have another Drow Duelist hanging out in the secret cave. Just to confirm, he moves the closest to me and attacks with 2 attacks. So attack 1. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I'm going to draw my treasure card from last turn. I can re-roll any die. That's awesome. It says, use after any die roll, re-roll the die, flip the card over after use. So the flip the card is different than discard. So if you discard it, it's gone and you can't use it. But sometimes you can get some treasures or features or something that allows you to regain the abilities that you flipped. So, all right, the Drow Duelist rolled a 10. It gets a +9, so 19 does hit me on the first one. And the second attack is a 5 plus 9. That doesn't. 14 will not hit. So at least he does 1 damage to me. And I'm going to flip that little damage thing over. And no, it doesn't. I'm going to flip it back over because I'm going to use my stance and take my stance and move it over there. Get over here, little feral troll. Okay, so we definitely want to use our Twinkle again to get that stance back because it's obviously a good thing. 4 plus 6 is not going to do it. We're looking for a 16, so we're going to try Twinkle one more time. 9 plus 6 is 15, doesn't do it, missed. So I'm going to move back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Move my Drow Duelist over, scoot everything up, pull out one more thing here, and find another dead-end cavern with a monster in it. It's a Goblin Archer. If the Goblin Archer is adjacent to the hero, it cowers in fear and does nothing, which it's not doing that. If the Goblin Archer is within 2 tiles, it attacks the closest with the barbed arrow. Otherwise, the Goblin Archer will move 1 tile towards me. So let's get this guy set up here. I'm going to move my winners over here. Got all this extra space. Okay, Goblin Archer, or well, Drow Duelist goes first. 1, 2, oh, well, what does it do? I forget, they don't just walk. Is within 1 tile of the hero. It is not, otherwise it will move 1 tile towards the hero. So technically, it moves over here, because it was here, that's 1 tile, 2 tiles. And now our little Goblin Archer, let's put this guy out. It is going to just shoot at me with a +7. It does 2 damage and a minimum of 1. I did get my Twinkle because you attack 1 monster and then you place this on there. Doesn't say you have to hit. So minimum of 1 damage, doesn't matter. He rolled a 5. I'm going to remove my twinkle, save my stuff there. Man, that guy's bugging me a little bit because he's just going to sit in there and cower. I'm going to have to go in. Okay, so I can use my Dancing Serpent ability at the start of your hero phase, which is right now. I can place my stance token on this card. While the stance token is on this card, it doesn't say when I have to take it off or how or anything along those lines, so I'm just going to leave it there for right now. While your stance token is on this card, whenever you use the attack power, you can move your hero up to 2 squares before or after the attack. So I'm going to use my attack power. I'm going to use my twinkle on this little goblin. So this is a free 2 movement right here. I'm just going to move 1 and attack. With twinkle as a 10 plus a 6, 16. Goblin Archer has an IC of 12, so I killed it. 1 hit point. Hooray. It's dead. So we get rid of this guy. We get our treasure token, our treasure card. Play immediately. Choose one hero that... Oh, it's play immediately. Choose one hero. That hero either regains 1 hit point or ends a condition. I don't have any conditions, so yeah, no, it's all right. I would like to save it, but I can regain a hit point. That's not a horrible thing. And discard after use. Now I have my movement, but I've already done my attack, right? Yeah, but I need to, unless I want to just get an encounter for no reason. You know what? No, there we go. I'm gonna move right over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can move up to 9. So while I'm in the secret cave, I do not get encounter cards. So I'm just gonna at least tuck in there. I don't get any new monsters. It's basically like a start over round, no encounters or anything along those lines. So now it is the Drow Duelist's turn. I don't have to draw a monster. I don't have to draw an encounter. Drow Duelist is adjacent to me, so it's going to basically move right in here with me. It's going to attack me twice. 15 does hit because it has a +9, and a 6 + 9 is 15. So it only does 1 damage. I didn't really get to do anything fancy because of my Dancing Serpent, so I'm going to have to just take that hit. So there goes my my treasure token from the goblin. So we're back to where we were. All right, now it's back to my turn. I am going to twinkle attack. 15 does hit with a 6. So now we got twinkle back on. This guy only has 1 hit point, so he's dead. He sits over here. Move him off the screen. And I need to, I guess, rather than shuffle all those things around, I'm just going to go north. Let's make sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I have 9 movement. Drizzt is pretty fast. It's a narrow passage. Heroes and monsters in this tile have -4 AC. It's a white triangle, so I'm not too worried about anything along those lines. No encounters. Hey, Stalagmite, do not play a monster. We'll just leave that right there, and I get a free turn because there's nothing else going on the board. I don't want to go through that narrow passage, so I am going to reorganize a couple things here. I've got to be getting close. I've got, here's my start tile. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll bet it's the next one. All right, so I'm going to move these guys down. And I'll get better at this as we keep going. Here, monsters. Move that over there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And draw a cavern tile. There it is, our underground river. That's what we're looking for. So let's read what the adventure says. When you reveal the underground river tile, your hero has found a way out of the Underdark. Place the surface hollow tile next to the closest unexplored edge of the underground river tile. So, that's this. We're going to move everybody over just a bit. As we put this here. All right. Then draw 2 monster cards and place the corresponding monster figures on the surface howl tile, one on each mushroom patch. So we're going to draw 2 monsters. We're going to go closest to furthest. So we have the hunting drake. It's kind of like a little dinosaur. And let's see what else we got. A hypnotic spirit. So we'll go over each one as it's their turn. And that's this guy. Okay, so now it's the hunting drake's turn. If the hunting drake is within 1 tile of the hero, it moves adjacent to the closest hero and attacks. Otherwise, the hunting drake moves 2 tiles towards the hero with the fewest hit points. It is actually not 1 tile, it's 2 tiles. So it's going to move up here right next to me, and I'm just going to put it on the mushroom patch. All right, so that's our hunting drake. It does nothing this round, which is a good thing for us. Hypnotic spirit. If the hypnotic spirit is within 1 tile of the hero, it moves to the closest hero's tile and attacks the hero on that tile with a horrifying howl. Again, it is not 1 tile for me. Otherwise, the closest hero moves 2 tiles closer. That's actually really convenient. So 1, 2. I'm going to put me on the mushroom. Congratulations, Drizzt. You just bypassed the little hunting drake because he's now more than 1 tile away. Thank you, hypnotic spirit. That worked out really well. Okay, so now there was no encounter because there was no black triangles. So that means it's my turn. Yeah, well, I'm going to move up close to this bad boy, my hypnotic spirit. I'm going to attack with, it really doesn't matter what I attack with. You know what? Because I don't care, I'm going to use this. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to use my Lone Drow. It's a Ranger daily power. It's a use once and destroy. Move the hero up to his or her speed and then attack 1 adjacent monster. So I'm attacking this one. I moved 1. I'm going to attack the adjacent monster, and it's +6. I got a 19 +6. Congratulations, you killed it. I get my treasure. Use when your hero hits an adjacent monster with an attack. This attack deals 2 damage. Flip over after use. Okay, so now I can... No, I didn't use that before. So I used my special power. Move your hero up to his or her movement speed, then attack once. So I think, and I called it out at the beginning, that I could use my movement again with this because this is also an attack and a movement at the same time. So I'm going to call this my attack. And if it's my movement, then I'm just going to move or attack whatever I have left over to get in there, flip it over. And the win condition is victory. You win the adventure when your hero escapes to the surface. And to escape, your hero must end the hero phase on any of the 4 blue squares of the surface howl tile. And it's got these 4 highlighted. So, congratulations. When you reveal the Underdark River, read this. The sound of running water is a welcome respite from the silence of the caves. After days of traveling through the dark, you see the soft glow of sunlight ahead. Only a few monsters stand between you and freedom, and we just defeated those monsters. So, victory. You win the adventure when the hero escapes to the surface. Well, congratulations, kids. We beat level 1. Well, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. It was a lot of fun, and I will be planning on doing more of these.